All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to tackle the world of ISO 27001. If you've ever wondered how companies really build a digital fortress to protect their most critical information, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to demystify all of it.
This is the kind of question that keeps people up at night, right? Every single day, we're hearing about new threats, new breaches, new vulnerabilities. So, how can you be sure, really sure, that your organization isn't going to be the next headline? And it's not even just about the cyber criminals. The whole regulatory landscape has become a total minefield. You've got these frameworks like GDPR in Europe, that's the General Data Protection Regulation, and the CCPA over in California. Trying to stay on top of it all can feel like you're lost in a maze. One wrong turn could mean massive fines and, honestly, maybe even worse, losing your customers' trust for good. But what if there was a map for that maze? A globally recognized blueprint for security. Well, that is exactly what ISO 27001 is. It's the international standard for managing information security, and it gives you a clear, structured path right through all that chaos. Now, at the very heart of ISO 27001 is this thing called an ISMS, an Information Security Management System. And here's the key thing to remember. This isn't some piece of software you just install. Not at all. Think of it more like a comprehensive framework. It's the whole shebang of policies, procedures, and controls that systematically manage all of your company's sensitive data. Okay, so this slide really nails the difference, doesn't it? It shows the two very different worlds of security. On one side, without an ISMS, security is totally reactive. It's just a constant, stressful game of whack-a-mole. It's disorganized, and it leaves you wide open. But with an ISMS, you flip the script entirely. You get to be proactive, you're systematic, and you're building this solid foundation for what we call compliance excellence. Okay, so that's the what. But what about the how? How do you actually get there and build this resilient framework? Let's get into the practical steps and see how this all comes together. The whole journey really boils down to 4 key stages. First, you've got to really understand the standard itself, its core principles, its clauses. Then, and this is maybe the most critical part, you have to master risk assessment to figure out exactly where your weak spots are. From there, you implement specific security controls to deal with those risks. And finally, you work to comply with the standard and get certified, which is how you prove your system actually works. I'm going to pause here for a second because this is so important. You absolutely cannot have effective security without mastering risk, period. Identifying what's important, the threats you're facing, and where you're vulnerable, that is the unshakable foundation of a strong ISMS. Everything else is built on top of that. So if we zoom in a little bit, what are the actual moving parts of ISO 27001? Well, you've got the key principles and clauses that give it structure. Then there's something called Annex A, which is basically a giant catalog of security controls you can pick from to reduce your risks. You add in those risk management techniques we just talked about and the clear path to getting certified, and there you have it, the complete picture. Now, it'd be great if this was a set it and forget it kind of deal, right? Just set it all up and walk away. But that's just not how security works. The best security systems are living things. They're constantly adapting. And that brings us to the cycle of improvement. And this right here, this is the core idea of modern security. Threats are always evolving, your business changes, technology gets updated, your security framework has to keep up. It's not some project with a start and an end date. It's an ongoing business process, forever. So, how do you actually do that? How do you manage this constant evolution? Well, the answer is this amazing little engine called the PDCA cycle. Plan, do, check, act. It's pretty simple. Let's say you plan to reduce phishing attacks. You do the employee training. You check to see if the click rate on phishing tests actually goes down. Then you act on those results to make the training even better next time. That little loop is what drives continuous improvement and keeps your security sharp. All right, let's talk about the payoff. I mean, after all this work, why do it? What does mastering this standard really mean for your organization and, frankly, for you as a professional? And the benefits, they're not just small things. They are huge. We're talking about building genuine resilience so your organization can actually withstand attacks and disruptions. We're talking about achieving real compliance, not just checking a box. And maybe most importantly, this is how you build and keep customer trust. When you get right down to it, this is how you secure your organization's future in this digital world. And look, this isn't just for giant corporations or security nerds. The value is widespread. If you're an IT manager, it's about aligning everything you do with a proven global standard. For a business leader, it's about building real, tangible operational resilience. If you're just starting your career, man, this is an incredible foundation. And if you're a small business owner, this is one of the single best ways to build deep, lasting trust with your customers. So, as we wrap things up here, I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Every single decision you make or don't make about your security is writing the future of your organization's data. So, the only real question is, who's holding the pen? Is it going to be you, or are you going to leave it all up to chance?